So what does it mean to be rich? Like, what does that mean to you?
What does it mean to be rich?
Financially stable, whether it's buying a mansion or buying a single-story house.
Being wealthy, living a good life, I would say. You don't have to worry about money.
Not have to live check to check and be living comfortable.
Like success, and you stable, and you achieve your goal.
Can I lead in with that? Can I lead in with, this is where it all started for me. Like, the shot right here, you know what I'm saying? This is where it all started for me, man. You know, role models aren't always the people that you see on TV. They're actually the people you get a chance to interact with face to face. The Boys and Girls Club is where it all started for me, every day after school and each and every day in the summer. The person who had a greater impact on me was a standout athlete in multiple sports. He took the time to share with me a clear definition of success.
Oh, ain't no place like One Haven, man. I love this place. I was a National Small College All-American, which was a huge experience in my life. But I'm 5'10", I'm not 6'6", 6'5", and the transition to basketball was not gonna be my thing. And it had me focus more of, what can I do?
The biggest thing that sports taught me is never an excuse. You can find a way to be successful if you want success.
Playing pro basketball, that never was a dream of mine. It's just something that kind of happened as time went on.
What I give kids all the time is it's more than football. Life is more than sports.
Oh, there's a lot of different ways to get there. You can play sports, you can do all kinds of things. You can be an actor, you can do anything, but you can be able to look that coach in the eye or be able to, get that big contract and manage that money correctly to parlay it into another contract. You're gonna be able to be that type of person that sponsors are gonna want to do business with.
The one person, if it was B.Rich and the B.Rich project and I had an effect on that one child, I'm happy. The love that I saw that he had and he wanted to inspire and do more for himself as well as others, that's a win-win for me.
What's your dream?
Basketball is my life.
I dream of playing volleyball.
I just want to go pro.
I always ask athletes, if you could accomplish all your goals, be the person you always dreamed to be, except those things came outside of sports, would you take it? It's Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Everybody's gonna say it's been a crazy year.
Kobe Bryant, among at least 4 people, has died in a helicopter crash in California.
And of course, Corona hit.
The World Health Organization has just declared a pandemic.
We didn't think it was gonna happen. I mean, for sure. And the blessing in it is that it wasn't canceled. There were a lot of days that were canceled. And it's crazy that we here, man. Welcome to the showroom. Showroom Invitational. Every athlete's dream is to make it to the league. They dream about the lights, the cameras, and most certainly the contract. By this time in your career, you think you know who you are through your athleticism on the playing field. But how well will you respond when being blitzed with questions about your talent and, more importantly, your future?
Good morning, Angel. I'm Domisha on behalf of Angels of Destiny Network. So I have a question for you. What are some of the challenges do you think you're going to face being drafted into the WNBA after college?
There's scouting reports out there that say your jumping isn't necessarily an issue, but the fact that you're not as tall as people would like you to be, your speed isn't quite up to par, and your work ethic may struggle in some areas. What do you have to say to that?
During this segment, we experience draft day.
Stretch out, man, stretch out.
Ready, all set, go.
Wave. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat fruit with the bare face and the slap tongue, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face.
I want to respectfully disagree with my work ethic not being enough, because that's one thing that I don't slack on. Even when I don't want to do it, I'm going to put it all forward.
I know I work on a lot of things. I know my height and stuff. You know, I work every day, try to make myself better.
I just need to try harder to be able to get on that level with them. Once I get there, I feel I would be very dedicated and work very hard. I feel like I just need to work on myself. I have to put my dedication in, like I always have, and I just need to give it my all, and I can do anything I put my mind to. So I'll just have to work on it, and with the weight, lifting weights and stuff like that.
I'm pretty big. I don't think I'm undersized, but I've always been a go-getter, get from the bottom and work for mine, so I don't like being inherited or anything.
My size and my height never been a problem. My work ethic is just something I pattern my life on.
Work hard and just keep going, and just keep pushing until I get to the right level.
So the main factor is discipline. If you ain't all in, it ain't gonna help you. In the world today, everything ain't gonna happen easy. You know, some kids might have to work harder than others. Like I said, I ain't gonna sit here and say, when I was in high school, I was in the gym every day working out. That's not true. But I worked enough for my level of talent that got me where I was.
The little stuff that even me as a coach, kids don't want to do, especially these days. You know, they want to make highlight tapes. They want to, make those 30-second videos and all that stuff. But you got to really see why some people went on further than others. Their mentality was different. They were doing things at home just because they had that game plan.
The first page is your professional contract, and you can sign where the blue X's are. And on the bottom is your Nike.
A wise man once said, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches." As a kid, my only dream was to be rich from playing a sport that I love. There's this idea that the contract will bring you the money, and the money will bring you happiness. If this initial train of thought is true, and happiness comes at a premium, it will be most important to know that making the money is one thing. Now keeping it, that's another. Before we get into this next session, let me take you back to earlier in the year, when I had a chance to sit down with one of the most successful business professionals in our area.
Hey, we've been friends for a long time.
Years.
So it's no secret at this point. You don't play on Sundays for the NFL. You don't play in the NBA. You helped me start this event about 3 years ago. At that time, it was primarily for basketball players, young players, seniors in high school that were getting ready to go on as either college athletes or college students. And you've allowed us to, at that time, come by your home. You would do some mentoring, talk to them about where they are in life and where they're trying to be. Being at the dealership, Bartow Ford is one of the most successful dealerships in the nation. What goes on in your showroom?
Well, showroom's your display. It's what people see first. You park your best vehicles out there. You have your most customer-friendly, smiling faces out there. Likewise, your foundation and you, Brandon, are helping connect that bridge for people. Because at school, they don't talk to you about managing your finances, how to balance a checkbook, how to make a good first impression, how to do an interview. And all those things are crucial to being successful at sports or anything else. There's tons of athletes out there. There's tons of people that are, 6'8" and above. But you're going to be able to look that coach in the eye or be able to, get that big contract and manage that money correctly to parlay it into another contract. You're going to be able to be that type of person that sponsors are going to want to do business with. Those are all things that can help you get to the next level of financial freedom.
You all have a seat wherever you got to put your space. You're going to need some pen and paper. That's the NBA contract. They gave him $20 million over 4 years with a $4 million signing bonus. All right, so these my NFL guys, man. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? My name's Brandon Coleman. I'm former NFL receiver for the New Orleans Saints. What's up, bro?
What's up?
How old that boy?
I'm 15.
15. It's gonna go by like that, bro. Y'all understand how great it is to have something like this at this age, bro. Access information, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, in the times we in right now, this is critical for y'all. I need y'all to understand that because y'all are our hope.
Yes, sir.
Exactly, I need to understand that this information can change the trajectory of your life.
Based on your contract and everything, what do you really want? What do you want in that home?
It's $20 million, a lot of money, right? I mean, with $20 million, we need some nice stuff. So what would you want in your house? That's $500,000 or $3 million or $10 million. Of course, anything else you do is an add-on to that.
Right. What did you come up with so far?
I chose the $3 million house.
Okay.
I did the $500,000.
Okay.
I wouldn't get a house yet.
You wouldn't get a house yet?
No.
So you rent?
Huh?
You rent probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't be too fancy.
How about you? What did you choose?
Point, elevators, a weight room, football practice field, and I want a 12-car garage.
12-car garage. Okay. Any particular reason 12? Okay. You wanted the football field. What was your budget?
Like 500,000.
500,000. Who's gonna live on a 10th on the football field? So, how are you gonna pay for that house? Cash? Mortgage?
Do you think that they send you a check for $8 million, or does your agent wire you the money and now when you check your account, you got $8 million in your account? How do you see it happening in your head?
Check.
Check? Okay. And would it be a check for just $8 million? Is that what you were thinking? Okay, so you thought, hey, I signed my deal and somebody's gonna write me an $8 million check.
You like get portions of it?
Like after a while of thinking, I thought it would be like kind of separate, kind of spaced out.
How much of it?
Like half a year?
Okay. Half, so you think, so $4 million each year? How about you all? So I told you your deal was $20 million, was worth $20 million for 4 years, and then you have a $5 million signing bonus. So right now, how much money do you have? If I say, hey, this is your deal, how much money do you have?
$5 million.
You got $5 million. Okay. How much do you have? $5 How much?
$5 million.
Okay. B, are they thinking the right way on that? They said that they signed their deal, and
I mean, to be honest, you got less than 5.
okay. Ding, ding, ding. You got less than 5. It's not good.
This is a business, right, that you're entering from an ownership perspective. You guys that are coming as players are replaceable, bro. It's a revolving door. That's why the careers are so short.
I never really thought about like anything like that, really.
What did you realize? The money that you were given, what did you end up realizing after going through the session?
The contracts, like everything you get, like you can't just go on and spend it like all out at once. You gotta be humble, you know, and like you gotta build your way up and not like break yourself down.
What were your thoughts as you signed your deal?
I felt official, kinda. I thought it was like, yeah, this is kinda like what it actually be like, kinda like a simulation. And I thought it was, you know, pretty cool. I was like, I felt like somebody.
Being a part of this camp is huge. It's extremely valuable to all the athletes who are aspiring to be professionals, to expose them to some of the things that they will experience along their journey, whether it be interviews, whether it be signing contracts, whether it be conducting themselves in a professional manner and understanding that their name is now their brand and everything that they do and say is gonna have either a positive or negative impact on that.
It was a humbling experience. It made me realize that money ain't promised and tomorrow ain't promised. That I gotta live every day like it's my last. And yeah, that's how it is, you know. You gotta use that money smart, because that money ain't always gonna be there.
I've not heard of fantasy camp like this, and so just the opportunity to be involved in that and lend a little bit of knowledge that I have about real estate and mortgage to help people understand how that process works was just a great opportunity. And you know, we had a lot of obstacles because of COVID, as it's thrown everybody for a loop. But I think, you know, being able to put something out there and at least touch the lives of these student athletes, I think it's a great building block, something to build on for the future.
What would you tell that 14-year-old that gets a chance to see this, that's only seeing themselves as a pro sports figure?
Oh, there's a lot of different ways to get there. You know, I think sometimes we get stuck in our mind that, hey, it's either this or this. In this day and age, where I think that the percentage of hard-working people is at maybe an all-time low, it's so much easier to excel in a field because competitively, there's just not a lot of competition as far as people are really want to press and get that job done. So you can play sports, you can do all kinds of things, you can be an actor, you can do anything, but there's a lot of different ways to get there. And you know, I go to a lot of business meetings or meetings with a bunch of influential people, and there's tons of people making athlete money that, trust me, ain't athletic at all. I've never really wanted to grow up to be wealthy. I've wanted to grow up to be successful.
I swear they never really understand me. I need a camera like I need a Grammy. She needs to flow with a designer. Yeah, we eating plenty, took the pantry from the sound waves to the rebel lines, from the tattered bridges to expensive dishes. Now we eating ends with these new beginnings. Yet the sign of major for the bank. But thank the Lord that it doesn't pay attention.
I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Poison ivy, but from like a stronger with a cosign. Yeah, I don't even like me. No, I'm staring in the mirror in different words. Claim me the greatest, the shy, but timid. The riddles were fingers, they simple-minded. Find a road top, I'm taking it. From the ground, I be paving it. Hella bows on when I'm penetrating. Too much on that blood, and they take a shit. New sounds, I make a facelift. I'm in a new town, I make the wave split. Be a crew and balance, try to run the game into my shoes. Callous from the loose ground, keep the flame lit. I relay the message, nobody better. I'm bringing them killers, I want it forever, but I'm with whatever. Cause these days,
are you willing to put that work in?
I called him, I said, what the hell you gave another car away? He said, where'd you get that from? I didn't do that. I said, I just saw it on Facebook. He said, oh, okay.
Brandon Richards, he was kind of up under my rear end through his years, and it didn't bother me.
Chase your dream. I mean, it's gonna be obstacles in everything you do, but as long as you strive, you know, you try your best, I think everything will work out.
You know, you start your own business, you gotta learn how to work with people. You can bring more to the table than everyone else, but you have to know the value of the people around you.
Sports is just a ticket to get to the promise. Don't always push you over to the promise. You can use your sports to get that 4-year degree that can allow you to be a accountant or a lawyer or something else.
The same way you practice, the way you drill, the way you work to get where you want to be on the team, you have to do the same thing with your finances.
Being able to buy a house for mom or dad, because we see that a lot. But think about, are there other ways that I can use that money while I have it to make it work for me long term?
I was never playing for the money. I was playing for the love of the game. I was just grateful to have an opportunity just to play. The money was never an issue.
You got to be doing what you're supposed to be doing structure-wise and all of that to be putting yourself in the best position, because they're going to do what's best for them, regardless if that involves you or not. You just got to make sure you're doing what's best for you. That way you can get what you want out of the situation, because the university is going to get everything they want out of you.